folks. I say afternoon, you might struggle to believe that because it's getting pretty dark here at the moment, but it is afternoon, I promise you. Right, bit of showbiz news to start today with. I've got a bit of showbiz news, well, a little bit to start with, and then thoughts on a couple of things I've seen and read this weekend. On the showbiz front, I think they're now filming Series 2 of MOBLAND. I think it was a big hit for, was it Paramount? I think it was, early on this year. Series 2 is now being filmed, in one of the locations being London, but I think it's going to be a multi-location project. Anyway, they're filming in London at the moment, and news is coming out that two of its stars aren't very happy with one another. Well, I say two aren't happy with one another. One definitely isn't happy with the other. Dame Helen Mirren, I think she's 80 now, is old Helen. She's very, very unhappy with co-star Tom Hardy. She's not pleased with him at all. I believe a lot of it's down to his timekeeping. It's supposed to be poor. And the fact that he walks around the set, I'm told, like the big I am. She doesn't like it at all. Because she is it. She's a dame. She's going a lot longer. No, they do say she's the consummate professional. And she doesn't think Tom Hardy is on the same page, the same wavelength at all. And she's not very happy with the whole situation. What else did I have for you? Yeah, Tony Blackburn, he was in the news yesterday. Did you read it or not? I thought it was fascinating. He's talking about the various affairs he's had through his life. I think he once famously said that he'd slept with over 1,000 women. I find that one hard to believe, but possibly the case. He was talking of his early marriage, I think his first marriage to Tessa Wyatt. You remember her from, was it... What Flew the Cuckoo's Nest? No, it wasn't. Was it Bird's Nest? What nest was it called? Robin's Nest. Robin's Nest with old Richard O'Sullivan. Yes, she starred in that as his love interest there. Yeah, that was Tony's first wife. He said, I know I was punching. I know at the time she was a looker. He said, but that didn't stop me having affairs. He said, in fact, it's weird I had an affair with the next door neighbour. She never knew. But it turned out further down the line, I found out that she also had an affair with the next door neighbour. I was knocking off the wife while she was knocking off the husband. But she never knew about it till she read my book, my autobiography, 20 or 30 years ago now. She's come out and said, what are you talking about, man? I was never knocking off the next door neighbour. I had nothing to do with him whatsoever. You might have been playing away, but I certainly wasn't. Didn't take her long to get rid of Tony, though. She left him, and she left him for Mr. O'Sullivan, her co-star in Robin's Nest. Bird's Nest, where did I get that from? Bird's Nest. Sometimes I amaze myself, I do, honestly. I was watching something earlier today. You may have seen it in the past. I'd recorded it a few months ago. I've just re-recorded it, and I thought, I'm sure I've seen that before. What was it called? I've not wrote the name of it, because I'm a pillock. I think it's In His Own Words. I think that's what it was. In His Own Words, or in my own words. It was the episode on Billy Connolly. Thought it was fascinating. Thought it was absolutely great. He did a little piece in there about his very, very good friend Robin Williams, who sadly died a few years ago now. Billy was distraught when he died. They were very, very close for all they were born on different sides of the pond. They were both very much out there, if you like. He said, I'm having a dinner with Robin, he said a few years ago now, only days before he actually took his own life, he said, and we're having dinner there. He said he called me up and he actually said halfway through dinner, I love you. I've wrote it down so I don't get it wrong. I love you. Oh, thanks very much, said Billy. Do you believe me, said Robin. Of course I do, said Billy. He said, believe me, believe it, I do, I love you. He said, I thought it was strange. He said, he's always been good to me and whatever else, but I thought it was a strange thing for a guy to say to another. He said, little did I realise that was probably his last words to me, knowing that he was going to kill himself 2 or 3 days later. For that weekend, he sadly hung himself. He said, I think he knew he was going to do it. He said, and I've never forgotten those words. I think Billy wished he'd said the same back, to be honest with you, but the big macho Scot in him probably stopped him from doing that. Where else did I see? There was one other thing. Yeah, I'll tell you what I watched this morning. You might or might not have seen it. That My Life at Christmas with Anita Rani. Did you see it? Now, I know if you did, you might not have took it all in. Firstly, you might have been focusing on Anita's footwear. Strange choice if you ask me. And then you'd have definitely focused on Rod's footwear. And then, partway through the old piece, it was an hour long, quarter of an hour in, they shown film that him and Penny did about 4 Christmases ago, where he's dancing there with her, and he's got the same footwear on. It must be his Christmas footwear. He must bring them out for Christmas. Pair of brogues, red and black. Well, no, like beetle crushers. Is that what they used to call them? I think they did. Red looks a bit silly, really, but Rod was dressed as normal. They went with his attire. He was very Cliff Richard-like. He really, really was. And I watched it and I thought, I'm looking at picking holes in it, and I am picking some in it. Because I think Rod and Penny, especially Penny, they're not of this world. They don't know what it's like in the real world. They really don't. She can do all she wants as a special constable and stuff. They just don't get the way the world works. They're very much up their own you-know-whats, and they just don't get it. They don't get it at all. But I know there's a love there, whatever else, and I know the fact that Penny was almost brought to tears on 3 occasions will have gone down well with the viewers, and especially with those at the Beeb. But I mean, the whole programme I thought was a bit weird. I mean, because they're trying to bring religion into it, and at the start, are you religious? Well, no, we're not really, says Rod. No, we don't go to church, anything like that. Births, deaths, marriages, maybe Christmas, but that's it. Not that. No, not at all. And then on 2 or 3 occasions during the course of the next hour, Anita's trying to bring in religion, and Penny's playing along with it. And I thought, well, you've already told us you're not religious. They're trying to make a religious spine throughout the programme where there's nothing there at all. But anyway, I just thought it was all a bit strange. Then I seen one that I recorded a few weeks ago now, Sheila Hancock. She was in the same show, and I thought, this is why I like Sheila Hancock. Just down to earth, just normal, a sensible, just normal, decent, proper human being. It's little wonder that she formed such a fantastic alliance with John Thaw. Little wonder at all. Brilliant to watch. In fact, I'm recording this now. I've still got 10 minutes of it to watch. I've not seen it all yet, but loving it. They're getting to the part now where she got with John and they had a kiddie. When he was still drinking, it was when he was in drink mode because he had an issue with drink. They're going to come to next where she develops cancer. And I know John was beside himself and looked after her. And then ultimately, a few years later, she looks after John. John wasn't with us anymore, which was sad. I remember it well. I remember him dying. I remember when he died, honestly. I was gutted when he died. I really was. I liked John Thaw. I liked him a lot. It's weird. My dad once said many years ago when the Sweeney used to be on, I don't like him. He doesn't half overact. And this is weird. I think I've said this on this channel before. I know what he meant. I was younger then. I didn't get it. But I watched some of the early Sweeney stuff. I love the Sweeney. Just loved it. Funnily enough, about 12 months ago, again I mentioned it on here, I watched every single one of them. They run it virtually all the time on ITV3 or ITV4. And they go from start to finish all the way through. And I recorded them daily and just watched them all over the space of a month or two. Really enjoyed it. Really, really did. It's great, some of the old faces that you see in there. Ex-film stars to be. Some people that are still acting now. It was a breeding ground for talent. It was fantastic, the Sweeney. Loved it. But now, when I got older, I realised what my dad meant. John Thaw did overact in it. He really did. Yet, weirdly, he was a brilliant actor. I think after the Sweeney he got better and better and better as an actor, and still on the odd occasion overacting. Now anyone that overacts to me is a crap actor, can't act. Yet John really could. Strange. I was never a Morse watcher. I need to be. I've watched the pre-Morse stuff with the other fella in, yet never watched Morse, the real deal. I believe it's supposed to be brilliant, but I was a massive fan of his Cavanagh QC. I loved him in that. Thought it was great. Good. Is it Goodbye, Mr. Tom? I mean, my kiddies loved that, especially my mid-kiddie. She absolutely adored that. Loved John Thaw, me. When he died, I was gutted to say I remember it well. I know where I was at the time. I don't often remember things like this, but we were away, the whole family were, at one of their centre parks, and weirdly, it got announced, and I was just gutted when I heard it. I just thought, oh no, how sad, just awful, really awful. I liked John Thaw, I really did. We've still got old Sheila. She's doing well at the moment. I think she's 91 now. Looking chipper for her age, looking good. I like her a lot, as I say. Just chalk and cheese between her interview and the one with Rod and Penny. She's just down to earth and spot on, is Sheila. I like her a lot. Right, that's all. I've witted on for a while. I didn't mean to, folks. I do apologise. I love you and leave you, and I'll catch you over the next couple of days with more Showbiz News.